Good morning, everyone. I'm Sister Jenna, your host for our new America Meditating segment called Wise-ish. It's your power boost for the morning. It's for you to take your dose for your inner cure. Join us every day, Monday through Friday, from 8:30 a.m. to 8:45 ET. Don't forget, take your dose. See you soon. Hello, everyone. Welcome to your spiritual vaccine hour, your family time in your family corner. It's almost like a family reunion every night, isn't it? Where we actually just decompress from the whole day and just get back inside to find out, how's my day been? Did I get some marks? Did I learn anything today? Did I evolve? Was there something that I had felt that I could have been better? Today, I was on back-to-back calls, and so to just get my mind fresh and a little bit activated, I went outside. And Sister Geeta and I were, we have the Meditation Museum RV, and we had not started it for I think about 2 weeks or 3 weeks, so the battery had died. So we've been, is that boosting? Charging it, right? Charging the RV. So I went in to start it, but it didn't start again. But Sister Geeta got a bucket and a rag, and she started to wipe down the RV, and the next thing I saw, she was spraying a sealant on the RV, and I was like, you should have seen me, everyone. Talk about, what's the best word for that? Well, when the eyes pop out, like what Rashmi said yesterday, face change. Not only did my whole face change, the whole neighborhood heard my face change. But I was like, no, you can't spray that on the RV, Sister Geeta. No, but it's a cleaner. No, it's a sealant. And then she's like, no, let me just spray. And I went over to her. You can only imagine how the day unfolds here every day, right? So I went over to her and I says, no, look, it's a sealant. It's glue. You can't spray it on the RV. She goes, yeah, but I think this area needs cleaning. I get that, but you can't spray the RV with a glue. And then she just looked at me. She goes, why are you talking to me so mean? I'm not, because first I said, don't spray it, and you didn't listen. And I said, please don't spray it, and you didn't listen. I said, don't spray it. And then she heard me, so I just didn't know what else to do. I was just lost. But anyway, I had to take this thing and then started to scrub it, and the paint was dripping, and I just gave up. It's like, it's so interesting because one of the aspects of today's conversation is about true love, because even when you do that, one of the things I love about those of us who consider ourselves awakening or awake, is that there's this consistent sort of a gauge that you're always checking yourself, and I was like, oh. So after I went through that period, I go, God, I know I could have said that a whole lot better. And I was going, this isn't good for me. I need to be healthy. I need to heal myself right now. I can't, let any energy in my body get too negative, And she just looked at me, everybody, with this sweet, innocent eyes. I just don't know why, I can't use it, And I just said, because you just can't. Just give me the can. And then I caught myself going, and my discussion is on true love. How am I going to do it? But then what happened was, and this is a real true experience, what had happened was that I knew that I'm awakening or I'm awake, and I told myself, oh, you could have said that so much better. And then I saw the justification of the ego and the attachment go, but I said it nice 4 times and she didn't listen. And it's so interesting how your ego and your attachment will justify your misbehavior. Do you hear what I'm saying? And then that quiet voice, which is your true love, said to me, but the 5th time would have been perfect. Ugh. You look at her now, she's just sitting like she's in heaven, you know. Life is so easy. But I was looking at her today when she was resting, and she looked like a little baby. And I was looking at her energy, that she has this sweet, sweet energy of such goodness and such beauty and such love and such innocence that you're like, I need to do my 5th turn. I need to fulfill my 5th attempt. It doesn't work the 1st time. It didn't work the 2nd. It didn't work the 3rd. And the 4th time. And then the 5th time. And that's what true love is. You know, it's true. True love is true to the energy of love. And the greatest thing you can do for your life is to be loving. It's the greatest act. It's the greatest act. It's the greatest act of charity. It's the greatest choice you can make. Is to love truly and to love purely. To purely love is the greatest charity you can offer yourself, your body, the environment, your relationships, your money. Just pure. It means it's not tainted. It's not tainted by the interpretations or the illusions of pain, hurt, disappointment, trauma, expectation, loss, grief. When the love is pure, it doesn't mix that emotion into it. It won't mix those emotions at all. And it almost seems impossible, doesn't it? Like, can we actually love pure? I'm suspecting that we can, because there's this specific quality of energy inside of the being, inside of the soul that we are. By now we all know we're souls. And we're simply expressing through our bodies the recordings and the experiences that we have captured over time. And pure love, it's like in your blood. It's your breath. It's your religion. It's God-given. And it's inside every one of us. And because there is pure love sitting inside of our consciousness, it keeps our conscience on alert. Because when the soul makes a decision, when it decides to choose to say what it's about to say, to think what it's about to think, to do what it's about to do, it's aware that there is a repercussion, a consequence, a ripple effect, a boomerang. Whatever I speak out into the ethers, whatever I say, it's almost like the drama has it recorded, and it will somehow say, okay, how much would you like? Purity is so powerful that it doesn't need a lot of ingredients to make it powerful. Purity on its own is its own power. It's powerful on its own. It doesn't need a mixture. It's less. It's like a Tiffany collection. You won't get a lot of them at K Jewels or any of these other jewelry shops. You can only get it at Tiffany. And when you begin to activate your love and make it pure, I think everyone tends to want that, because it's an energy we're not used to except when we see the birth of our child, or when we look at a baby, a newborn, maybe a month, 2 months, 5 months, 6 months, the fragrance. Have you smelled the fragrance of a baby? And you feel how pure it is and how supple and soft it is? This is how the energy of love is supposed to feel when it's shared with another. So I think I'm going to enjoy today's conversation, because what I'd like to hear from all of you is, what's your definition of pure love? And I'm so glad that Antonia has given me this whole week to discuss on purity, on love, because I'm really, really diving into this energy, because I believe this energy of love is the cure on so many levels. I think that we've used the word so much, we have no longer understood its value or its power. I think intuitively we do know it is of great force. And I believe that we will get to that destination where love will become the unlimited expression of the human spirit. And it won't be just in one, but it will be in many. And I believe for the individuals who are willing to take the time to do the internal work and not play around anymore, and start to really listen to what their thoughts are saying, to what their deepest thoughts are saying, which are the subconscious thoughts that are driving the whole ship. And all they have to do is ask, is this love? Is there love here? Is love in this thought? Is love in this feeling? When you're having a pure love experience, it feels like a cool running creek. And even if anybody throws their dirt on you, the river or the creek, the water just goes right around it. It doesn't get stuck. You see, when the pure love gets polluted, it stops. You know what he did to me? You know what she did to me? You know, I'll never forgive them for that. Oh, this happened and that happened. This was an awful thing. That's when the love is stopped. But when the love is pure, it's like it doesn't know anything but that. A quote that I came across yesterday: love so much that even those that mess up, you're able to help that energy. In other words, love to such an extent that even those who don't know how to love, your love can take care of it. It was profound. So why don't we do a little meditation, or just go into a little moment together. And Santosh, we're going to play the quotes on love. Okay. I think that we've played this before, but I've gone over it again and again. And when you just slow down and look at the lines, read each line, and see if it can take you to the more amplified awakening of a love in you that is pure. Enjoy. It's such a magical presentation, isn't it? Each word is so rich. You could dive deep into each sentence that was described. It just helps so much. So Lucienne Sass, thanks for joining us. Thanks for the insight to purity and love. So much about this. And Jessica Johnson, yes, we are all encouraged about the love that is uprising in all races right now, where the Black Lives Movement is concerned. I was on a wonderful Zoom meeting today with our evolutionary leaders, which is a private group of spiritual illuminaries around the country, around the world. And there is a topic that came up on race, and again it becomes such a moment of raw emotions for individuals who have been grappling in that area. And sometimes, and it's just a natural emotion, I think, sometimes one doesn't know how to receive the suffering because it's coming from generations of suffering and no one stepping up to help. And you wonder, do we need a conversation where we can bring our purest love into really having these hard conversations about what is needed, because let's say when somebody tells you a horrifying thing. I was remembering when I was at an event with Oprah at the UN for the Belief series. I think Reverend Sylvia was with me, and I took about 10 of our friends with us. And there was an interview there at the General Assembly that the UN rep had mentioned. We do so much work in the world to end poverty and sorrow and suffering, but we're still struggling to really make an impact. And I was very struck by Oprah's response, because what she said was, to be quite honest with you, if I see the grueling stories that you do show about the suffering of children and not enough water, not enough food, no clothes, I might give you my $10 or $20, but then again, I don't want to see it anymore. I can't take it. I can't take too much of it. And I'm just wondering that those of us, whether we're black or white or brown or yellow, who are going through the rawness of these times, the emotions of whether it's Black Lives Matter or immigration issues or tensions in a relationship, or maybe you have the weird thought, you're not good looking enough, your nose doesn't look right, your eyes don't look right, your body type isn't the right type, your color skin isn't right, which is all deceitful thoughts that you could ever feed yourself. But whether you come from whatever one of these backgrounds, and you can feel that there's like a lot of stuff. Have you ever, like, when people are telling you stuff and it's really raw and you can feel the emotions inside of the soul? The only way I've been ever able to help is to sit there in a state of pure love, pure loving silence. Because in one way, that raw emotion and hurt, it has to exit the system of the soul. And sometimes even in its exit, the holder of that experience is just wanting to have another energy to just be. And in a way, pure love has the capacity to just be. To just be there for you. Because when we're in a state of pure love, which can only be developed by consistently practicing and paying attention and applying your thoughts, your words, your deeds towards the energy of love. That as you keep practicing it, eventually pure love becomes the means of your expression. Because what we are searching for, to end racism, to end the child separation, to end domestic violence, to end sex trafficking, is the energy of purity to re-enter into the consciousness of God's children, so that they won't even have the thought to bring harm to another child of God. And so because that purity hasn't been tapped into fully, or that purity has been pushed down to the core of the soul, like really deep down into the subconscious, and what's at the surface of its waves are just the mixture or the, well, I'm going to love you only when you do this. Well, I'll never forgive you unless this happens. Or I might love you, but from a distance. I've even heard myself say that. I will love you from a distance. And I would catch myself afterwards. And I would say, I don't know, does God love me from a distance? Like, you have to keep weighing the depth and the purity of love to the way that God would love you. And I think by now we've all matured to accepting God is not an angry God. God is not going to seek revenge. God is not going to take life from you. God is not going to create a storm. God's not going to create a pandemic. God's not going to let, anyone kill someone just because of the color of their skin. God's watching everything. And it's as if his energy of pure love is opened to the child below who's willing to catch the signal, to be aligned with that energy, to be programmed to what the power of pure love can do, but also what the power of love feels like. What the power of love feels like. But go back to the smell of a child, a baby. Go back to the eyes of a baby. Go back to the whole vibration of a baby. And then see if you can bring love through to your marriage, to your children, to your in-laws, to your community, to your country. Because pure love is very, very present. It's very present. It asks nothing emotional from you. It is. It just is. It's soothing. It's calm. I hope that makes sense. So, I don't know if anyone has any thoughts they'd like to share, because by now on Spiritual Vaccine Hour, you've come to the conclusion that you are creating not only your present life, but the destiny that awaits you. You are creating your life based on what you think, how you think, why you're thinking it. And maybe one of the assignments for tonight, and I don't know if you did the one last night about seeing into your being and seeing you until you could really feel your essence and your love. And I'd love to get feedback if you did. But imagine if you were to write tonight that it would be, I am pure love, and my pure love does this, or my pure love is this. And you write that down. What does pure love do through you? Like, I would say that even on my 5th attempt in telling Sister Gita not to spray the RV with the sealant, I felt that my pure love had come in, even when I raised my voice to get the can and tell her not stop spraying the RV with it. My pure love caught me and said, you could have said that even though the 5th time, You could have done it this way. So in a way, my pure love came to my rescue. It was after the fact, but it still came to my rescue, if you get what I'm saying. So you have to look at how pure love can even function. It's just always in you. You know if your husband speaks unkind to you, you're like, that's not pure love. You instantly recognize, no, that's not right. You can feel it. And when you react to the way he speaks to you with the same energy he spoke to you with, you can feel that you step out of the energy of your purity too. And what I've noticed with the energy of purity, it is so priceless. And again, I keep going back to, it's very present, you know. It's just very, very, very present. And it's just living in the moment. It's living in the moment. So I guess the most powerful thing you can do is just to keep loving yourself and loving yourself unconditionally. We live in each other's home and the body, thanks. Anyone has any thoughts they'd like to share? Any questions that they have? Did anyone do the exercise yesterday of looking into the soul until you got to love last night? If anyone did that, that would be great. Arlene, thanks for your sharing. Pure love is being a bestower with no expectations in return. Vashti, you want to know, how can I let my brother and sister in intent, laugh about it and not get upset? Well, I hate to disappoint you, Vashti, but we can't let anybody do anything. We just can't. The only thing we can do is become an inspiration by our own lives being inspired. So it's not, and you can see it, everything has changed since this pandemic. Who you thought was the most powerful person, they too are at home. Religious leaders, they're at home. Businesses are closed, churches were closed, governments were closed. And everybody was in the same kind of space. And still nobody really knows what to do. But I feel that what we can do is to emerge the pure love, because now we have that energy, you know, that energy to offer. So Anjit, pure love is so organic that it hurts. Ooh, I get that. So it's like it's so deep that it can really take you into that deep place. Yes, I got you. All right, anybody else with a thought to share about pure love? I did not do the homework last night, Raleigh said, but I'll do it tonight. Please do. Okay, so you are loved. Thank you, Portia. No worries. This is good. While watching and listening, it allowed me to text an apology to someone that I did not show pure love to, and it was accepted. I just had a breakthrough. Raleigh, that is the best. That's what I'm saying. This is what makes our time together so pure and so sacred, that this is like our time to grow. You know, this is it. To be consistent, to commit to this growing process, to commit to myself, to find those portals, those areas, those pods that I haven't been taken care of, and it still hurts. And if I could just find that inner strength to address it, it actually could be accepted, and I could move on. One of the biggest issues is the, and I say it all the time, but it's the influence of the past, you know, this all of those experiences that we've been going through that was not connected to pure love. It was like the breaking news, you know, that because it's news, it just grabs your attention. And it's the same thing with the experiences that we as souls are traveling with. And what we do, where we don't heal very fast and we don't allow the pure love to get amplified, is we start to project blame on others. And we blame societies, and we blame our government, and we blame our relatives, and we blame our loved ones, and we blame everyone outside of ourselves, except looking inwards and asking the self, what thoughts have I been having that have manifested this reality in my life? And as hard as that can be at times, the moment we choose to ask ourselves that question, the pure love starts to return. Because we'll start to weigh that the choices that we've made, they were influenced and they were still carrying the rollover karmas of my bruised self. If I were to ask you, everyone who's watching tonight, maybe my Indian brothers and sisters will not be able to participate in this questionnaire, but what was your last relationship like? Like, what was the reason for your last relationship for it to end? Did you put that pure love into it? And what was your state of consciousness in that relationship? And go back to the relationship before that one. Where were you inside yourself? And how did you show up to that relationship? Did you bring your pure love into that relationship? Or did you bring another kind? And was expecting it to last? So even give that some thought, you know? How did your last relationship end? Where were you inside? And what did you put into it? And don't blame him or her. Where were you? Because I bet you got out of that relationship because you were seeking pure love. And in the relationship, you weren't feeling it. It was like innate. It was ingrained in you. You knew there was a love that's stronger than what you were feeling. And it wasn't physical. It was of a higher order. And so in order for us to really be able to be the holders, the keepers of pure love, I'm going to have to do some purging, some cleansing of all the memories I'm carrying of what love that hasn't been pure, which I've gotten so used to. I've got to get over that memory of loving in a way that wasn't pure. And when I can come to that decision, it's a choice. You know, we're in an age of the power to choose right now. And whatever we choose carries its consequence, carries the ripple effect. But if I'm seeking love that honors me, a love that is pure, have I felt it for myself first and foremost? And again, ask the question, if there is pure love in me, the soul, how will that make me feel? Because the way your body functions, it won't lie to you. If you have an angry thought, your body will feel it. If you have a thought of fear, your body feels it. If you have a thought of love, your body feels it. If you're at peace, your body feels it. But when you become subtle and you pull all of your trying to define or decode yourself using your physical senses, so to speak, and you tap into your spiritual senses, then you can intuitively know what pure love is without you needing to let your body signal it to you. You'll just know, because you'll feel free. Your spirit will feel free. It will expect nothing. It will walk with dignity. It will own the land wherever it goes. It will not have any fear. And you think about these ideas, and you have to take the challenge. could this be possible for me one day? And it won't happen overnight. Like you plant a seed in the ground and you have no idea of the potential in that seed. The only thing you know is that it's a seed. My favorite fruit, mango. You have no idea how many mangoes you're going to get from that seed and how many seasons you will get from that seed. That's what pure love does in terms of relationships, in terms of your money, finances, your health, your mental stability, the environment. You know, everything you look at, if you look at something with pure love, you're going to naturally want to take care of it. If you look at it and you don't love it, it's like, leave it. You know, you go into the kitchen and you're not in a good mood, you're not in a state of love, you see the dishes, you go, forget it. I'm not in the mood. Right? But when there's love, it's like you go in the kitchen, you see it, you go, I don't want the kitchen to look like this. It's like that purity of love will keep giving into, that it'll keep giving. It bestows. It just has that fragrance. I hope everyone's enjoying the sharing tonight, because not only is pure love so potent that it can reward you for season after season in your marriage, with your children, with your friendships, with your body, but for many lifetimes. That your pure love transcends into many, many lifetimes as your karmic destiny unfolds. In each lifetime, the pure love just travels with you as your karmic lineage. And always remember, the pure love is like a seed. You don't know its potential, but the more you use it, you can see the way that it just blossoms for you. Because you've seen what love with motives has done. And love mixed with attachment has always killed something. It's just died. It's like it will only give because you give. Or it gives because it just wants something from you. Or it just doesn't give because it just gets nothing else from you. So it's like love with the mixture of ego or attachment, it eventually dies. It makes your relationship dies. It makes your enthusiasm die. It makes your way of looking and dreaming and creating die, because that whole energy just takes away the growth that could have occurred. You know, so pure love is really the need of the time. Yeah, really. All right, anybody has Miracle Mary, pure love is God's guidance, absolutely. Duri, very, very warm welcome to the family here. I put my heart and soul in. Yes, I was seeking pure love, exactly. It wasn't physical, but it was deeper and it was spiritual. Hope you found it. Yeah, when you gave the love, and you see, this is a very interesting point, Duri, when you said that you gave the love and the care, but you felt it was taken advantage of. Here's how I look at it, is that I'm sharing. I don't even want to use the word give, because give automatically wires your brain to say, I'm going to expect something in return because I've given you something. But when you share something, it's of a different quality. So if you check deep inside, Duri, your sharing might have pivoted over to being giving, like you were giving. And in your giving, if you really deeply, deeply, deeply search, you might encounter that you were actually trying to take from the relationship. And on an energetic level, the person just took whatever you were giving. But they weren't able to give you the emotional quest that you were on, or the emotional thirst that you had. So it wasn't that they took advantage of you. I think that you were giving with the energy to get, but they didn't have the discernment or the wisdom to recognize that vulnerable part of you, that all they had to do was to be able to see that care within themselves, to also share something with you. And what they were sharing with you maybe is what you even didn't want. So where they were concerned, they don't even know what to do. So I want you to maybe revisit that idea where you think they took advantage of you when maybe they didn't. Maybe, I don't know if they did or not, but maybe it was like in your giving, you were actually taking. And something was in that. Something was in that. So Emerge Love said, I need to be in a pure state, a virtuous state, to receive the pure love of God, or to share love. Ravati, while one having to experience such would be a result of one's own karma or mutual karma, one grieves the loss of their original being, original essence, and lost opportunity. Yeah. So what are some thoughts in being at solace with having had to live through chronic trauma? Chronic trauma. Is the trauma still happening even till today? Because that means it's physically, if the trauma keeps happening to you over and over again, I would recommend you get out of wherever you are, call the cops, get some support, get some help. Because if you're going through a physical chronic trauma with somebody, you don't need to be in that position. That's one. The second thing is, if internally you're reliving an event and it has become chronic in terms of your memory, and this has also been difficult for me at times when I've encountered a challenging period in my life, but I've understood the spiritual laws so far to some extent that I do go back to me and I ask, what thought am I having that is creating this energy? And as awful as that might seem, the situation or circumstance, until I dive deep inside and change the cycle of that thinking, that energy and that manifestation won't change. You see, I've met and been with so many students that have studied with the Brahma Kumaris. And when they have their awakening and everything inside of their soul just pops right open, they start to feel so different around their friends and their family. It's not intentional. But because the energy within is now blossoming, it's as if even their friends start to say, you're no more fun. You don't do the things we used to do anymore. And it's not that. It's just that your thought process changes. So does your friends and your environment and your situation. It's like you've become a new character in a new movie playing a different role. So I would look at the thoughts, and I'm so sorry that you've gone through chronic trauma. No one should ever to go through that. Chronic trauma, chronic pain, chronic loss. Nobody. And in order for us to cure that, we're going to have to do some deep investigation with our thinking process. Is it that I'm rolling over a lot of bruises from the past and bringing it into my marriage, into my new partnership, into my job, into my society? Like I asked earlier, what state were you in your last relationship? And the relationship before that, where were you? Was there pure love? Because if it's pure love, it should have grown, right? Something should have been there.
Comment on Facebook, and it's not a question.
All right, Duri, I'm glad that you appreciated that response. Shami is saying, if God is unconditional love, is it possible for humans to love unconditionally who live in matter? Can I love someone or everyone the way God loves? So, Shami, the intention is to reach that point of love. Similarly, to the extent that God's energy flows through us, that I can love you that way. And I'd like to share with you what I have been practicing for many, many years to cultivate a very leveraged form of love. I've been practicing loving everyone the same, and I'd like you all to sit with that. What would it be like to love everyone the same? And when you do that, you start to just immediately you start to feel the energy of attachment leaving your consciousness. Because now there's no one special that you want to spend time with. There's no one intimate that you want to tell your deepest secrets or longings to. It's just love everyone the same. And it's an energy in you that you gauge, that you keep at a particular temperament. And there's a freedom that comes with it, there's a neutrality that comes with it, but it's also very rare. It's a rare kind of state. It's a rare form, but it's very powerful if you can develop it. So I wouldn't give up the possibility of loving the way that God loves. So what that means to me is that I bring that pure love into my relationships with people. The love of God doesn't mean to move away from people. The love of God actually means the amplification of more people, because I have more energy, more power to share my love with many more. So that's why, to protect the soul from not developing attachments, then you love everyone the same. Okay? All right, I hope that helped. And on Facebook, hello, my Facebook family. All right, let's see. What are the questions, Santosh?
There's no question, it's just a comment.
Oh, some comments. Okay.
On AM.
On AM. Okay. America, meditating. Yes. Hello, Ashley. Agape love. Yes. Yes. Very true. Thank you, Daniela Vargas. I hear you overnight in Europe, the Netherlands. Welcome. I love the Netherlands. I've been to Holland so many times. We have a very nice center in Holland. Peace to you, Ashley, too. Always love to have your energy in the vortex. Reverend Lydia, let's see. I'm working with the thought of how do I or have loved. Do I love from hurt or hurt from love? Therefore, not being present to the now moment, which pure love allows me to be free and heal. Great, great. See, that's the kind of work we want to do with Spiritual Vaccine. You want to go deeper inside. This isn't, a motivational speaker giving you some sweet, great talking. This is us doing the work and trying to get to that point in our lives that we are genuinely awakened and realized and conscious and maybe pure. The thoughts until we close off for a nice healing meditation at the end. Okay, let me put the glasses back on. Hi, Thea. Nice to have you. Thea Antoinette Bashful. What a lovely name. The more I choose to work from love in this racial equity movement, the more patience and compassion I have. I honestly don't always like the feeling of being angry at folks and then finding myself feeling love for them. I often have felt like a liar, a fool, and weak. I'm choosing to stand in it, though, no matter how I feel, or the thoughts that come to take me back to anger and for unforgiveness. Very good, Thea. Never suppress those feelings. The suppressing of the feelings is the most damaging aspect that we can do to ourselves. It's the most painful thing that we can do to the gentle, powerful, and strong spirit that we are. So it's good that you can accept, yes, I am feeling this. Yes, I do go here. Yes, I have gotten angry. And then go, why are you getting angry? What do you want? Speaking to somebody the other day, and they were having a really deep issue with somebody, and it's been for a long time. And they had really bad feelings about this person, which I'm sure are valid for her. But then I asked her, what do you want? I mean, if love were to speak through you right now, what would love say regarding this relationship with this person? And it was a completely different answer. How would love show up with the racism in America? I swear to you, I would educate. Because to me, racism is just sheer ignorance. It's just ignorant, right? So when I have pure love and I see somebody who is ignorant, then I would somehow feel like at that moment, what would my pure love do? It wouldn't maybe stay silent. It would ask a question. It would convey it with conviction and peace and calm. It would leave the fragrance of God's compassion and love onto that person. And I think for souls who hold racist tendencies, they're in need for that experience of God's love. They're in need of that experience of pure love. And you must admit, and you've got to understand this, people who hate people because of the color of their skin are in some deep emotional pain. There's some stuff going on in there. But also for the individuals who are feeling so tired of being victimized because of the color of their skin, there's hurt there too. So I think what we're witnessing in the world today is a deep awakening for everyone to start to really ask the question and do the work to really see, what have my thoughts been doing to me and to my society? And where do I begin to do the healing from starting with me, so that then outside the healing also occurs? So I have to put away blame, I have to put away criticism, jealousy, competition, expectation, fear, disappointment, frustration, anxiety, anger, desire. I'm going to have to choose to put away that vibration that tends to influence the energy in my thinking. And when we do that, my friends and family, we would have arrived to pure love. Okay. All right, so we'll call it a night. Yes? Does anyone have any further questions? Okay, I'm trying to find some of the questions here, but the statements or the sharings, I think we're okay. So Kirit is asking, do you think a racist nature of someone could be a carryover of a previous birth and could carry over into the next? Yeah, I feel like, we're supposed to be in a civilized time period, and we're still listening to individuals calling people names and calling them this, go back to your country and this. And if you go back and study history, actually the land belongs really to Native American Indians. And I'm so proud to be friends with some beautiful ones. I don't know if Elaine Whitefeather is watching today. I just consider her such a strong representation of the Native Americans and the generations of pain and isolation and what they've been through. And yet they continue to hold the wisdom. So when I hear people talk to other folks, whether it's in my social media, on Twitter, and somebody in a particular gender says, you go back to your country, you don't belong here, you should be doing that, I just see the pain in that person. And it's almost as if you want to show them what pure love feels like, you know? But instead the person cusses them back, you do this, they use the F-bomb word, or this word, or the bad word, and then it's like nobody learned. Both walked away. This is a racist. Oh, and she's this, and nobody learned. So at some point, one person has to be the big one, and that person has to bring the pure love into the picture. So yes, you can take rebirth and have that karmic energy, Kirit. Yes. So can I say hello to your parrot, Portia, Mr. Didi Bird on my shoulder, who loves to listen to your meditation show. Hi, Didi. Om Shanti, Didi. That's so cute, Portia. You're welcome, Pravin Bhai. So glad that you could join us in the evenings. Ricky Music Productions, wonderful to have you. What is one of your favorite techniques of transforming the energy inside of you that you notice is an energy picked up somewhere that's lacking self-love? Wow, good question, Ricky. Well, you heard my experience today with Sister Gita spraying a glue on our RV. And after 4 times of speaking, because I consciously am aware that my religion is peace and my religion is love. And every time I break that religion, it hurts me much deeper. So the technique that I've used is that I will always do a reflection. And especially if I come out of that place of peace and love, I will be like, why did I do that? What was the purpose? Was that worth it? So I'll ask myself this question, Ricky, like, was it worth that? Never is. Nothing that makes me get frustrated or upset or disappointed is worth me losing peace or love. Never. I can tell you that now. So what I've used as a transformational tool is, and this is after the fact, I don't walk away feeling like I've won that fight or I'm on top of it. That's ignorant. I walk away knowing, could I have done better? So my tool is, could I have done better? And what would love have done? And that just switches everything on for me. So sometimes I'll actually go to apologize to the person, or I will send my good wishes and look at them with a lot of love. That's one thing. Second thing I'll do in the evening, I'll write in my journal, I messed up bad. And then I'll clear it out in my conscience. That helps me a lot. And the third thing is, while I'm walking around, I'll keep thinking inside of my head, you know, how did I look? My eyes changed, my lips changed, my features changed. And you might laugh when I tell you this, but because I believe in karma and everything rolls over into the next life, I always think, if I want to be born handsome or beautiful in my next birth, I can't be letting my features keep popping out like this all the time. You know, like, what are you doing? And, you know, yelling at people and stuff like that, because that creates a recording in your personality. So if your personality keeps recording rage and anger and being, what's that word? When you scorn somebody, when you're distasteful, or when you're sarcastic, and when your features have this look, you know, like, you know, really mean, you know, you're recording that, you know. So I keep thinking, in my next life, I don't want to be born like that. I want to be born with a fragrance, with an energy that whoever sees me should be pleased. They might not be pleased with me in this birth, but let them be pleased with me in my other birth. So I've given you three steps that I take based on where I am on the inside. So I hope that was helpful for you, Ricky. Or Rich Key. All right. Okay. All right, everyone. So we'll close off. Jennifer Scotland. Nice to have you, my sweet sister. All right, so we'll close off with a meditation. Santosh, you have something that we can play? This love would be nice. What's tomorrow's topic? You have it put up? You put it up? All right. Yeah. So did everybody enjoy today's sharing? I hope so. You can always say when it's like this, I won't be hurt. Because when you do this, it also helps me to study deeper. I study deeper so that I could get nourished. Because if you're not nourished, that means maybe I'm also maybe not nourishing fully. So I just want you to know it's been since March 16th, every night a different topic. Every night I have to keep finding new ingredients, I got to find new recipes. And so every day I have to keep looking deep within to see, did I emanate pure love at all today? So it doesn't judge, it doesn't criticize, it doesn't feed from the past, it's just present. And it's just aware of whatever it says or thinks, it's creating its future, its life. So, all right. Good? Everyone's okay? Yes? All right. So we'll close off for this evening and we'll see you tomorrow night. Please be well. Try to do your assignment with looking at yourself until you can feel the energy of love. It might not happen tonight. It could happen tomorrow or next week or next month, but keep doing it. And the second thing is today, if there's pure love flowing through me, what would I be like? What would be my thinking pattern? Give it some deep thought. Sweet dreams, everyone. Lots of love. Take good care. Virtual hug. Enjoy sitting by the ocean as we close off with this lovely song kind of meditation.
Feel it now. It's all around me. A silent voice I can't deny. A mother's arms, how they surround me. They sing the beauty of my life.
It will last forever. It will never fade away. Never cause me pain. This love, this love.
I close my eyes
last forever. It will never fade away. Never cause me pain. This love.